Welcome back, everyone. I hope you're all having a great day today. First up, thank you to all the new subscribers. Welcome to the channel. Hope you guys are enjoying the content. I hope you continue to enjoy it. And to those of us just joining us today, hey, thank you for clicking the video. I hope you find something that you enjoy. Maybe go check out the other videos if you want. Tempo of this video, starting out, is going to be a little bit different. I have some things that I feel like I want to address because it corresponds with the previous two videos that I've uploaded. It goes along with that perfectly. And it also fits this game, Expedition, perfectly when it comes to the theme. So if you guys want to skip ahead of this, obviously go ahead. I'm going to have a timestamp of where the actual video discussing Expedition 33 starts. But just really quick, this won't take long. But I simultaneously do and do not want to upload this video. I don't feel like making it right now, but at the same time I do. And this is a perfect example of what I've been talking about, where there are things in our life where they will affect us in a negative fashion, make us mad, make us sad, whatever it may be, that we need to recognize, be aware of, and to take control of it, and not allow it to seep into and infect the things that we care about truly, the things that make us happy, that fuel our passion. Because definitely the past couple of nights I've been struggling, and I wasn't sure what it was till today, but last night wasn't myself at all when playing Arc Raiders. I had a couple moments where I muted my mic and was just kind of like sitting there quietly trying to not lose my shit, basically. Not at the game, not anyone in particular, but my emotions were high, and I definitely, if I hadn't caught myself, like I keep telling everyone that we need to be aware of, I may have said some things, nothing like really outrageous, but it would have been rude or uncalled for, just not necessary. Because, like I always say, I enjoy games no matter whether I'm winning, losing, whatever it may be. I could just be spending time with my friends and I'm happy. But what the problem is that I recognize today, it's the holidays. And when you don't have certain people in your life that used to be there, it sucks, And I just recently lost a family member a few months back. Lived with us for a while now, and she was a very important part of not only my life but my family's, obviously. But it's weird. It's weird not hearing her. It's not weird. It's just, it feels off, right? And it's not the first time I dealt with something like this, but I'm not here to divulge a sob story or any bullshit like that. I'm not trying to get violence playing. I'm not looking for sympathy. I'm not looking for, attention that way. I'm telling you this to be human, because it's a perfect example of what I've been talking about lately, to show everyone that it is possible to be aware of your actions and words, even when you're upset, even when you're not yourself. So, it might suck, but you're going to get through it. And even though you might not believe it, it's a hell of a lot easier to be happy and to just smile. Smile until you're actually smiling without meaning to. And I get it. It's not really something that a lot of us think is easy, but it is, I promise you. But without further ado, let's just jump into Expedition again. Sorry, I know that took a little bit longer than I thought, but when it comes to stuff like that, I feel like it's important to just kind of get it all out, say it, so it helps not only you, but maybe someone else will resonate with those words. But Expedition. Why is this game absolutely phenomenal, in my opinion? Why did it win Game of the Year? Well, let's go over that. So, a few things. One, we'll make a list here. 1, voice acting. 2, characters. 3, the gameplay. 4, the gameplay, the graphics. And 5 would be this overall story. At least that's how I usually rate a game, which of course a lot of those factors other people do too. But those, I think, are some of the most important parts to this game. And there's other subcategories that obviously I'll probably include upon this discussion as well as we go down the line. But to start with the voice acting, it's the first time in a long time that I have played a game where in just the first 5 minutes, I can not only see and hear, but I can feel the passion that these actors put into their roles. They didn't just read the dialogue. They didn't just memorize the words and put a little bit of something, into the character. No, they put their whole heart and soul into each and every single little line, no matter if their part was small or they're going to be around the entire game. It's just blatantly present from the get-go that they loved what they were doing and they are truly into the story that is being told. And to me, that is just outstanding to see, and one of the biggest reasons why, if you're into a great story game that has passion to it already, there you go. That's a check mark on the list right there, because this game, I can't get enough of how real these characters feel. So I'm gonna include characters into the voice acting, because obviously they correspond. You can't have a character without the voice actor, and vice versa. These characters feel alive. Their emotions, the way they act, what they say, what they're feeling, you can't help but relate in every single way. You can feel every time they are going through something, you can't help but be sad with them, be angry with them, be worried for them. And I think that's just absolutely amazing how they were able to capture all these, feelings that these, characters have to relate to real life. And again, this game heavily revolves around a cycle of really death. And these characters are constantly surrounded by impending doom, or just people that they know and care about dying in front of them. And I think that's part of the reason why this game is resonating with me so strongly, and probably why it resonated with a lot of other people as well, because it deals with such a existential topic. So we're going to get further into that. I didn't really mean to start bringing that up just yet, but again, the voice acting, the characters are phenomenal. They're relatable. They're fun. Like I said, you can't help but fall in love with them and feel for them with every emotion and everything that happens to them. So if you're a person that appreciates that kind of thing, there you go. You've already got two major reasons to check out the game, especially if you're looking for a new story, something that makes you think. It's very thought-provoking. So now, go over the gameplay itself. Now, the gameplay, if you're not familiar with JRPGs, it's a turn-based game where, obviously you have your phase, your action phase. You have 3 characters in your team. They each get a turn fighting. Some of their skills allow them to fight, take more than one turn in your attack phase, but, that's further on in the line as you start upgrading the characters, yada, yada, yada. But base mechanic, you fight, you take your turn, you use your abilities, and then the enemy team has it. And with every attack that they do, you can either parry it or you can dodge it. And parrying gives you extra action points, whereas dodging, with some of the perks that you can put on your character, it makes it to where if you do a perfect dodge, you get an action point. So, might not necessarily be your speed of game. It certainly wasn't mine, or so I thought. I've never really been a big fan of turn-based games. I've always felt it to be kind of too slow for me. Just, I want action, I want full control of my character, but there's something about this game, the way they did it, it's smooth, it's not choppy, it's not glitchy. Every attack you can parry, every attack you can dodge. There are no exceptions. Yeah, of course, it might feel that way when you get a boss that's hitting you with a 12-piece combo, and it's intense, it's fast, it's slow, but also, just because it's slow doesn't mean it's not easily, unpredictable. So realistically, I get that not a lot of people are going to love turn-based, and I didn't think I would either, but give it a try because it's going to surprise you. It's seamless, it's smooth, it's addicting. The team compositions that you can make to help your characters play off one another to end up performing heavier hitting combos on bosses or just normal enemies, it's just very intriguing, and it makes you really take time to think about what you can do to make this perfect team comp that makes it to where it's a true team-based game by yourself. And I don't know, to me, I think that's pretty interesting how they were able to seamlessly do that and make people like me fall in love with the game, even though it's just not my kind of game that I would choose. I wouldn't, typically say, oh yeah, I'm going to pre-order this $70 game, I'm going to spend $70 on this. But I'm glad I did. I'm glad I got it. That being said, let's move on to the graphics. The graphics are stunning. The visuals are beautiful. It's surreal. All these different areas in the game are just absolutely gorgeous. Definitely slightly unique. I think it just has a lot to do with the lighting that they chose with the game. It's not just that though, the audio. So I'm going to throw in a subcategory there. Maybe I should have said that was a whole category by itself, but the ambiance that they went with in the sense of music is just absolutely incredible because they perfectly matched each area, whether it was bright and sunny and almost borderline fairy tale, or it was dark and you can feel that angry vibe or that sketchy area where you're not too sure you really want to be walking into, or something bad is about to happen, or it feels like anything can happen at any given moment. And something about it just is so... it just captures your awe perfectly every time you set foot in a new area. I can't help but take time to look through every little nook and cranny to see the details, to listen to the music as maybe it gets more and more intense as you go further in, or as it kind of fades off in certain areas, and that intense feeling you have, your chest tightening, your heart may be racing because you can tell something is about to happen, to just all of a sudden a sense of calmness and peace, even in this dark area. The way that they were able to blend all these elements together is just truly remarkable, and something that I think a lot of future games should take note of. But again, this is my opinion. Maybe some people will be like, I don't think it was that great. But if you have a deep appreciation for, art styles and music, this game, it's going to capture your interest in the first 5 minutes, because at least for me, I was completely enamored with it instantaneously. I couldn't get enough of it, and I'm only halfway through a game. I'm still so excited to see what this soundtrack has to offer, what these visuals have to offer. So again, if you need a story game, you need something that really piques your interest that is outside of your usual comfort zone, I highly recommend picking up Expedition. So now the story. Now this is a bit trickier because this is one of those instances. It's not just I want to avoid spoilers, but this is one of those games where I definitely feel like even watching a trailer could end up ruining some surprises and some elements that won't be as exciting if you already have like an idea of like, okay, I saw this in the trailer, I'm waiting for this to happen. I think if you haven't seen any true gameplay, if you haven't watched any trailers on the game, I highly recommend avoiding it, just because for me personally, when it comes to story-based games, I like to be surprised by every little thing. When I see a trailer, I have expectations. I'm like, okay, you can kind of piece together, at least for me, I saw this character in a clip, and right now this scene is acting like they're going to get, killed, they're going to disappear, something's going to happen to them. But obviously that's not the case because I haven't seen this scene yet. So this is definitely one of those games where I feel like if you watch a trailer, it could end up like ruining some of the experience for you. At least that's just the way I personally feel about it, but obviously do what makes you happy, whatever makes you comfortable before buying a game. But yeah, so to give a basic description, and this description is something that you will see in the PlayStation Store, Xbox Store, Steam, It's not a spoiler. The setting of the story is a world that has been torn apart from the mainland, as they call it, and they are under the control of a being called the Paintress. And she is now painting new numbers every year on a massive monolith that this entire civilization can see. And as these numbers start to go down, people start to fade away and pass on. What I mean by that is, say you're 34 years old, now the number is painted to 33. As soon as that is painted, all 34-year-old people fade away and pass on. So now the setting of the game is you are in control of Expedition 33, and it is their turn to now try to stop the Paintress and, basically create a sense of hope for everybody else, for future generations. So that way maybe humanity can once again live to old age and experience a longer, more fruitful life. Now, that's as far as I'm going to go, because, again, I feel like if I say any more, it gives away a little bit too much. But I'm going to cover a little bit of the initial sense of the game, because like I said earlier, what I'm going through, it definitely corresponds with the setting of this game, because like I've said before, they definitely centered this game around the stages of grief. Anger, sadness, denial, and all these other subcategories. Apologies, got a phone call. So, what I mean by that, in the first 10 minutes of the game, you have two character interactions where it perfectly captures the sense of one person being in denial, angry, but also have a blend of happiness and hope, while the other character has accepted, might be a little bit sad, but also has happiness and hope for the future. So I think the fact that they're able to show opposites of the same thing, these two characters that love and care about each other, but also are feeling two completely different sides of the spectrum when it comes to the emotion of death, is just absolutely beautiful. And it's not just, it's not the only example. You're going to see it throughout every stage of this game. So definitely, if you're looking for something deep and existential and beautiful and thought-provoking, Expedition is for you. It's not going to disappoint you. At least I hope it doesn't. It hasn't disappointed me yet. And I'm not going to steer people wrong. If I really think it is worth your time, I'm going to voice it. Now, if I'm not sure, like I like it, but I'm positive that others probably won't, I have weird tastes, I'm not going to recommend a game. I'm not going to waste people's time. I'm not in the business of aggravating people or upsetting them. I don't want you to buy something because I said it and be highly disappointed and be mad at me. Obviously, it was your decision, but still, you took my advice. Now, with that being said, this video has been weird. I definitely don't feel as upbeat or excited. And I definitely feel like I'm missing a couple of things that if I was in a different headspace, I probably would have brought up about this game. But trust me when I say this game is absolutely amazing. It's a beautiful experience. The gameplay is fun and addicting. The story is addicting as hell. I've had to force myself to slow down because if I don't, I'm gonna beat it quicker than I want to. But with that being said, I hope you guys found something, good about this video. Maybe you understood what the point I'm trying to convey, why this game is amazing, all these different factors that play into it, and maybe you're interested to try it for yourself. And if you do, I hope you guys have a great time playing it. Now, with it being the holidays, I probably will have a new video before Christmas, but if not, it will definitely be Saturday, Sunday. But I'm 95% positive I'm going to have a video up probably by Wednesday or Thursday after this one. This one will be uploaded, obviously the day I'm making it is Monday. It's going to be uploaded tomorrow around 2 o'clock Tuesday. So I'm hoping by Wednesday evening, maybe I'll have a new video, maybe even Thursday afternoon, Christmas Eve. But we'll see what happens. But if I don't see you guys, if you don't see me, see a new video by then. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. I hope you all have a great time, whether you're by yourself or with family. I hope you find happiness, for this coming holiday. And as usual, thank you for your time. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you have a beautiful day. And until next time, peace.